You let them motherfuckers off the hook. I'd have talked about Will so bad, boy. I would have went
Not like you would
in
think.
on Will if he slapped me, and it's my time for the world to
Tell me
watch
about it.
me. Ooh, wait. You got played
Interesting.
in 50 million ways, brother Will.
You sowed distaste, and distaste came back. Now it's even. The pendulum has swung in both directions. Now let's let it go.
It seems that some just want to keep this charade or this drama going for views and for clicks and for just a news story. But what we're dealing with right now, we're dealing with two actual individuals in their real life. What Will Smith did was absolutely wrong. And what he did was he bruised a grown man's ego in front of the whole world. He didn't just punch him, he slapped him. And anyone that has actually grown up, especially in the black community, knows I would rather you punch me than to slap me, because slapping is a very, very disrespectful way of approaching a man. Here's the thing, if we want to fight, then fight me, but don't slap me. But besides that, in Chris Rock's response, I would say that he did have the right to respond in the way that he did. The assault on Chris Rock was public, and so the reply from Chris Rock was also public. It was put out there for the world to see, just like the slap was put out there by Will Smith for the world to see. Two wrongs don't make a right, but the response, hey, you can't criticize him that much for the response because of the action that was taken against him to begin with. But here's the problem for me. The problem for me is this. At one point in time, do we just not say, okay, this was done, and now let's figure out how to move on from there. These are two public figures, and there could be a lesson that could be learned from this. The lesson that could be learned is one of those lessons that could be taught to a lot of the people in the black community, is that, listen, image does matter. Our image in the public view does matter. And this could be a greater lesson for a lot of people, is that you're going to be wronged by people in your life. But how do you move on from that? One of the greatest things that could probably happen from this situation now is that these two come together, and people around them, it would take people around them to bring them together, but bring them together to actually do a public consoling of each other, do a public reuniting. Because this is something these are two megastars. These are two megastars in the black community that touch a lot of people. They touch probably almost every corner, every sector of the black community. Yes, Will Smith might touch certain parts of the black community, and also Chris Rock may touch other parts of the black community. But I don't think anybody can deny that these two black individuals are needed. This morning, I woke up and the Serena Williams and Venus Williams story that Will Smith played the father in was on TV. The value that Will Smith brings to the black community, be honest with you, with telling some of the stories that are in the black community, Ali's story, the Pursuit of Happiness story. There are a lot of stories that Will Smith tries to bring to light from the black community. And to be honest with you, he has become and he has evolved into, I would say, one of the greatest actors that we have. Not just a black actor, but just actor. We want to put people in boxes of just being just black this, the greatest black that. But Will Smith has actually transcended just being just a great black actor to just being a awesome actor for everyone, no matter what race you are. The other thing with Chris is that Chris also brings something to the black community. Chris brings a different viewpoint to the black community by poking fun of some of the things that go on in the black community. I remember one of the skits that actually made me laugh the most was the N-word skit. You have black people and then you have the N-word. And honestly, I don't say the N-word, but to be honest with you, it was poking fun of some of the things that go on in the black community, that some of the things that we as black people see that go on, but just we don't talk about. We talk about amongst ourselves, but of course we don't allow anyone of other races to talk about it. But the point being is that these two bring two very crucial and very enlightening things to the black community that can be shared with not just the black community, but also other cultures. So at what point in time do we say, hey, let's bring these two together and stop this beef right now? The ultimate thing is that these are two public figures. These things happen a lot through our community that is not public. There's a lot of people who have bruised other people's egos and have retaliated that are honestly not here to be with their loved ones or be with their family members now. They're either locked up or they're just honestly, unfortunately, they might not be here on earth anymore. And could this not be a greater lesson to others that there's other ways to solve your conflicts other than just violence? I really think that this moment should be just a bigger moment than both of them at this point in time, a bigger moment for culture. And if we can do this publicly, even though the whole world is laughing at Will right now, and honestly, the whole world was laughing at Chris a couple months ago, if they can get past this, can the people just on everyday level, just the people that are just walking the streets and just the regular common people like me and you, can we not get past some of these things and not take these things to a level to where they get out of hand to where we actually end up losing or missing our loved ones?
He was saying the reason why he didn't fight back is because I was always told you don't fight in front of white people. Now, the image about black males, what is it already? You guys are violent. Will Smith went on there and confirmed all of that. For the whole world, not just for the white people in the audience, you had people translating the things Will Smith said to Chris Rock. Keep my wife's name out your effing. They translated that into Mandarin Chinese.
It seems sometimes in other communities that when things like this happen, is that they bring the wagons around each other and they corral each other and they say, listen, this shouldn't have happened. We're not going to allow other people to talk about things within our community. We're going to fix and we're going to fix the things within our community. But it seems like honestly, a lot of this back and forth that has been going on in the media about this situation has been honestly pushed and moved forward just by black media. And what I mean by that is this, is that people have chosen sides. People have either chosen Will's side, people have either chosen Chris Rock's side, and some people have also chosen Jada's side. Can we all just not choose to move forward as a group? And I understand how people can choose sides and people can say that this person was wrong and this person was wrong. And at what point in time do we just not say, listen, we're all in this together? There's bigger fights in this and there's bigger things that we need to fight than just individual battles on this level. And can we just not use this as a teaching lesson to say, hey, yes, this did happen. This was very bad. This was something that honestly shouldn't happen. But things happen in everyone's life that shouldn't happen. People do things to each other that they shouldn't do. I have done things to people that I shouldn't have done. People have done things to me, and also vice versa in other people's lives. But these things are going to happen from time to time. But can we not learn how to react and how to move on from these things and how to use these things as positive messages to say, hey, just because something happens doesn't mean that has to follow you for the rest of your life. I think there could be a bigger message than this. I think there could be a greater message to this than this. I think that the message can be portrayed and can be put out there, but we have to allow it to be put out there. As long as we keep choosing sides, there's no way for us to come together.